Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters. This brother Amas, listen, and this is call to action, man. This is call to action, and it's a great day to be alive. Like, if y'all not excited about today, man, listen, something's wrong. This greatness that's inside of us. See, I'm not just giving y'all fluff talk, because a lot of us, we ain't right. A lot of y'all not right. But you can get right. You still got an opportunity to get right if you're still alive. Because we know just as well as I know that some of us was here yesterday that's not here today. So we got to start really pushing towards these things, and we got to start to what? Endure to come back into our right state of mind, to coming back into our true nationality as the Israelites, our true nature, and start really understanding that, guess what? Who we are and what we represent. That's the basis of my call to actions. To get you to understand who you are and what you represent. Because it's time to endure. It's time to stop quitting when it gets a little tough. Because you want the results of your situation, but you don't want the responsibility. And it takes responsibility and it takes discipline. So y'all know what I'm about to do. Y'all know I'm about to go into these scriptures and chop it up through these scriptures right now. Because that's the only thing that's going to really get us right. We tried everything. We tried to weed when we having issues. We tried to, what do our friends tell us? Man, you having a bad day, man, come on out with us. We try to go to the club and be around the women and be around everybody, and then we come home and we still miserable. We still coming with the same situation. What are we going to give ourselves in the spiritual realm to really lift us up, to really put us in a legitimate power place? But this is what y'all got to learn to do. You got to learn to stop quitting so early. You got to learn to endure until the end. And guess what? Anytime you get your mind right, anytime you want to do right, there's another battle in itself. And let's get that into the scriptures, y'all. Listen, we're going to go into the Apocrypha. In Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. One of my favorite verses. Here we go. Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. Or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. My son or daughter, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. That's powerful right there. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord. So that means if you come in to try to get back into your rightful place, if you try to do the things that you're supposed to do and leaving alone the foolishness, stop getting high, stop getting drunk, stop cheating on your wife, stop beating on your wives, stop, go back and try to make a relationship with your kids, stop sleeping around. You know what I'm saying? You doing, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, if you changing your mind and then you come into your rightful place, understand that you're the Israelites. Understand that you're the greatest nation. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American brothers and sisters, that you're the greatest nation that this planet has ever seen. Once you come into that understanding, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Prepare. That means you got to get ready for something that's about to happen because you come to serve the Lord, because you come to make the right choice, because you come to take your nationality back, because you come to do right according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Listen. Coming into trying to do the right thing, we all said it. Man, it seems like I'm going through all these trials. It seems like I'm facing all this. It seemed like, when I was in the world, I wasn't having these issues with my family. My kids wasn't acting up. I wasn't arguing at my job this much. I wasn't as depressed as I usually was before all of this. Now I'm trying to do what's right. I'm trying to do the right thing. We all said it. I'm trying to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do the right thing, but I keep getting tested. They keep trying me. We all been there. But here's the thing that we got to understand. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, if you come to get your mind right, according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, if you come to back into your true nationality, prepare thy soul for temptation. And this is what we're supposed to do. When we're coming and how are we going to prepare ourselves? Verse 2 says it. Set thy heart aright, meaning set your mind right. Get your mind right. The heart is the mind, according to Mark 7:21. It says, get your mind right. Get your mind right. Get battle tested. Don't be a coward in this walk. Don't try to say, oh, you only been doing it for 2 weeks. You only been doing it for 3 months. You only been doing it for a year. Don't give up. Get your mind right. Set thy heart aright. And constantly, that means over and over every day, daily, every second, every live, constantly endure. That means fight. A lot of us, we've been fighting for the wrong things a lot of times. We're not fighting for our rightful place. We're not fighting for the truth of the Most High. We're not fighting for our true nationality. We was fighting people because they looked at us wrong. We was even going in to shoot at them because they was disrespecting us, so-called. We was fighting to go get the weed. We was fighting to go get the alcohol. We was fighting to go get the women. But we got to constantly endure and make not haste in a time of trouble. So when you facing these trials, no matter if it's 2 weeks, 3 months, 2 years, 3 years, don't run. A lot of y'all rather run from who you are and what your responsibility is, but you run straight to the weed. You run straight to the alcohol. You run straight to the leaving your wives and your children. You know what I'm saying? You run straight to all the negative bull crap that's in this world, but you don't want to stand tall and constantly endure for your rightful place. You want to argue everything, but guess what? You want to argue about what the Bible is and what the Bible ain't, but you still sending your children. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking this to y'all who really think y'all slick and think y'all know something. You don't know nothing. For those of y'all who want to send y'all want to argue about the Bible, y'all want to argue about this and try to dismantle the Bible, but you haven't argued with the school board why they constantly teaching your kids a false sense of history. Your kids still learning about Christopher Columbus. Your kids still learning about George Washington, Thomas Jefferson as their American heroes. You know what I'm saying? Your kids are still learning that we started from slavery and not the kings and queens and the royalty that we truly come from. But y'all don't want to argue about that. Y'all don't want to go shut down the school board for that. Y'all don't want to go demand change for that. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff we got to constantly endure for. Because those are the true battles that we facing. We got to stop battling each other. We got to get this thing right. So let me read it from the top, verse 1 to 2. My son, if thou come serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright or mind aright. Get your mind right and constantly endure. Endure constantly, day by day. Don't give up. And make not haste in a time of trouble. And here we go. And cleave unto him. Cleave to the Most High, man. This ain't no Christianity sermon. You understand? Cleave to the one that's the creator. See, y'all worship the universe, the stars, the horoscopes, and all that. But that was created by somebody, by the Most High God. Why would you why would you worship the resources of this world and not the source of this world? Y'all gonna miss it. Y'all get it later. Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. That means, listen, you think that you somebody now? You think that you got it together? Guess what? The fight that if you just endure, if you truly endure like Job did, guess what? Guess what will happen? Matter of fact, let me get that. Guess what will happen? You're going to come out greater. Because then you're going to show that, you're worthy. You know how, when you play sports, right? When you play sports and you going through like football camp or basketball camp, who are they going to choose? They're going to choose the person who really endured, who really put the work in, who constantly didn't give up, who constantly just kept battling, even when they did have bad moments in their life, but they constantly endure. Now let's look at this in the book of Job. Job chapter 42 and verse, let me see this thing here. Because when we look at the book, when we look at Job's life was a perfect man as the Most High described him, who did not curse the Most High God, who was following his law, statutes, and commandments. The perfect man that this world has never, a perfect man like him that the world has never seen before until Job came. The Satan came and he tried to say, I see Job is worshiping you. Job is on your side because he has everything going right for him. But let some things go wrong for him and watch him curse you, just like we all do. We want to praise God. We want to say, man, it's a great day to be alive. It's this and that when things are going right. But when things go wrong, then that's when we know that our belief is flimsy. We're not truly believing like we should. So let's read this, what happened to Job after he endured. And y'all go read the book of Job. Go through the whole book of Job, but this is what I want to point. Job chapter 42, verse 12. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning. For he had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she asses. And he also had seven sons and 3 daughters. Because mind you, when you read the book of Job from the first chapter on in, Job lost everything. His wife got killed, his sons, his daughters, everything, his whole land. And you had owning that many animals, you was wealthy. So he lost everything. And the Most High, because he's endured, and because another thing, he never cursed the Most High. He never cursed the Most High. He constantly endured because he knew who he was. Even in the midst of his trouble, he constantly knew who he was. And this is one thing we got to do when we in the midst of our trouble. We cannot forget who we are or what we represent. And that's what some of us do. And that's why some of us, let me see this thing. When we get into trouble or we fall short in some areas, what we do? We go back to the things that are comfortable to say, man, I slipped up. You didn't slip up. You didn't slip up. You wasn't thinking that you were better than your situation. You wasn't thinking like that. You gave up because you wanted to give up. And see, and this is what we got to do in the face of trouble. Give me one sec. Y'all know how I get down. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Give me a minute. We're going to get to this. Because this is what we got to do when we face, remember, we're going to face trials. We're going to hold that. Before I go there, let me go here. Let me go to the book of Luke chapter 4 and verse 13. Because this is what happens. Because anytime that we do something great, we think that nothing's supposed to happen to us. We think that just because we got a good idea that we're supposed to go through these things and then we're supposed to just, you know what I'm saying? We supposed to just, because I got a good idea, people supposed to love me. People supposed to respect me. But guess what? We're supposed to constantly endure because it's a fight. It's a fight to live on this earth. It's a fight for you to get to the next level of your life. It's a fight for you to be in the moments now. So this is what we got to understand in the book of Luke chapter 4 and verse 13. Because this is what happens to us. And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed from him for a season. So that's what happens to us. That's why when our life is going right and then we say, man, I'm doing the right thing, then some other BS starts to happen again. Because any temptation that we're going to face, just like Sirach 2:1 said, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Because temptation is going to come. And it's going to what? He departed from him for a season. That means it's going to come back. Just like we got spring season, but it comes back all the time. We got fall season, but it comes back. We got winter, we got summer, but it leaves and it comes back. So we got to understand that our trials and tribulations that we're going to face constantly, they're going to come and they're going to go. They're going to come hard and they're going to go. They're going to come drastic there, but we got to endure. And this is what we're supposed to do when we go through these trials. This is the book of James, chapter 1. And verse, where am I at? Oh, chapter 1 and verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. When you going through this, understand that you're being tested because there's something greater for you at the end of the tunnel. Understand that it's a privilege for you to be going through all the trials that you're going through. Because guess what? And when iron goes through the fire, it comes out purified. When gold goes through the fire, in order for that gold to be as majestic and as magnificent and elegant as it is, when we put it on, when we see it, it goes through that fire of adversity. And we can never get nowhere without adversity, ladies and gentlemen. Stop thinking because you have a great idea that you're supposed to get all the joy. You're supposed to get hand claps. 9 times out of 10, you're never going to have nobody with you when you want to start your business. 9 times out of 10, You're never going to have nobody with you when you want to start your business. 9 times out of 10, you're never going to have nobody with you when you start your business. I had to say that over and over because a lot of y'all believe that because you have a good idea, you're supposed to get the support. And then then it goes to the point where you're looking down upon your family because you think your family is not supporting you. Guess what? Majority of your support is going to come from strangers. Majority of your support is going to come from strangers. Majority of your support is going to come from strangers. Just stop looking down upon your family because they haven't bought nothing. Stop looking down upon your family because they have not given you a share or a like. That's okay. Everybody's not going to support you in the same way. Okay? Understand that. But James chapter 1 verse 2, because this is how the mindset we're supposed to have. When it says when Sirach 2:2 says, set thy heart aright, get your mind right. This is how we get our mind right. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptation. Verse 3, knowing this, that you know that you got to count this all joy, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Verse 4, but let patience have her perfect work. Because patience, you enduring, you having patience, it's creating a work of perfection for you to get to the end goal of what you're trying to accomplish. It is building generational wealth, building your freedom from your jobs, minimizing your stress level. So verse 4, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. That's why we're supposed to count it all, because our patience is being tested. And a lot of us are not patient enough. We say we've been doing it for 3 months. I've been doing it for a year. Is this supposed to be? No, it's not. Because you haven't did one thing and got your mind right. You haven't self-examined yourself enough to understand that, guess what? If you self-examine and you get your mind right, then you will come back to the terms, if you're doing it correctly, that you got to just endure constantly. You got to do what Sirach 2:1 and 2:2, 2:3 says. Constantly endure. And that's what we got to have. This walk is a endurance walk. Just like Paul said to Timothy, endure as a good soldier. We got to have a mindset, a militant mindset, that we're going to get it just like the world try to bring it to us. Survival of the fittest. Are you fit enough to really capture what you're trying to accomplish? It's cute to say, but your lack of patience, your lack of endurance, and your emotional instability is showing different. But it's time that you get this right, because my son, when thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You will get tried. Luke 4:13. That when the temptation was done, it left for a season. This might be your season right now to be tested harder than what you ever been. But will you endure? This might be a season where you're just going through a little something, but you're making it out. Are you still going to endure? Don't put your guard down because you're not getting jabbed right now. Keep your guard up. Stay on the offense. Stop playing defense, and let's go. You understand? Get this thing right, ladies and gentlemen. This brother Amos. Remember the name. And this is call to action. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, endure. All praise to the Most High. With that, I say shalom.